Hi, Natalie. Are you still mad at me? I think it's natural for you to be angry, but let's talk as friends if you're not too upset with me. I want you to hear me out. Are you joking? How can you say such a thing? How can you be so shameless? How can you say that knowing what you've done? Nell, we will never talk again. Don't ever talk to me. You look like you don't even remember what you did to me. If you have no idea what you've done, now you listen. You cheated on me with my fiancé. Do you remember now? You contacted me like nothing happened. Something is wrong with you. You cheated with your friend's fiancé, and you're still trying to be friends? What a shame. Ah, I see. So you can do things like this without hesitation because you're not normal. Wait! Please calm down, Natalie. No, I didn't mean it. Please, just listen to me. Well then, what did you mean? I didn't do anything wrong. It was him who first approached me. Paul did? Yes, he wanted to talk to you and ended up grumbling, so I'm not the one at fault here. I was completely deceived by Paul. He told me all sorts of things and made me think you're the bad one. I was listening to Paul's story and I couldn't help but feel sorry for him. It looked like it was difficult for him to be with you, Natalie. He said he felt lonely since you were too busy with the preparation for the wedding. The wedding is important, he gets it, but he wants you to spend more time with him. You spend months just choosing a dress, you know? He also said you always look at dress magazines and don't pay attention to him, and it makes him sad. If it takes that much time just to choose a dress, then when it comes to choosing a venue and deciding on the hall, it feels like it will take forever. During that time, he'll be completely neglected, you know. If you hear a story like that, don't you feel sorry for him? What? He said that to you? I can't believe it. Are you lying? I don't want to believe anything you say anymore. Natalie, please believe me. I'm telling you the truth. I felt bad and kept his company. Then his tone changed and we started to contact each other more and more. Eventually, our conversation didn't stop with just you and Paul, and we started to talk about me and Paul. Paul began to say more kind words to me too, but I tried not to waver in my feelings because I knew Paul had you. But little by little, Paul started to express his feelings to me indirectly. He flirted with me, and then we crossed the line. No way. Him and I are very close to our wedding. How could you do such a thing? The more I hear your story, the more I feel angry. And you are giving me excuses, but you can't say anything about that. I don't really care how you guys started at all. I'm very sorry. I wasn't thinking right. I regretted that I let him make a pass at me, and I told him I'd not see him again. I really won't see or contact Paul from now on, so please forgive me. Can't you believe my words this time? I'm apologizing so much, so please forgive me. After all, we're best friends, right? But you are responsible for making him feel that way. People get prenuptial doubts. You might have been very busy with preparations, but I'm sure Paul had a lot to think about too, right? Don't you think it sucks to let him have any sort of doubts? You need to take care of your SO. Marriage is an event for two people. Weren't you the one caught up in your feelings, right? I understand marriage is a dream event for women, and there are many things you want to do, but I think you shouldn't forget about Paul's feelings while getting too excited about it. Hey, you're judging me after you had an affair with him? You don't feel bad, do you? You're not apologizing, you're preaching to me. Besides, I consulted with Paul about the wedding hall and even the dress, but he didn't listen to anything I had to say and just told me to handle everything on my own. He wasn't cooperative at all. I wanted to decide so many things with Paul. I felt very lonely too. You haven't felt bad at all, and you're blaming me without even knowing my feelings. I do. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. I couldn't sleep at night, fearing when this would come to light. I was very nervous and it was hard for me, and it made me go deeper with him. If you were so insecure, you wouldn't repeatedly cheat on me. It's nonsense to feel anxious and miserable and then deepen your relationship. You're just making excuses and enjoying yourselves together. I was too busy to sleep. He let me take care of all wedding preparation. Then he's been cheating with women at bars? He could have done better by helping me with the preparation. You should have told me his grumbling, and then I could have done it differently. You two have no right to say that this is hard. I am the one who suffers the most. On top of that, Paul even lied to you and said I wasn't paying attention to him. My best friend is so anxious about getting caught cheating that she can't even sleep, yet she deepens her relationship with Paul. How much more are you and Paul gonna hurt me? I'm terribly sorry, Natalie. But don't worry, I won't ever see him again. We can still be friends. I was just fooled by Paul too. I was also suffering every day because I couldn't tell you the truth. I was a mess, but now I see things clearly. My friendship with you is more important than Paul. I want to go out and do things with you like before, and have you listen to my troubles. Do you realize that you're only saying things that are convenient for you? It's crazy how you can talk so selfishly. How dare you say that after you stole my fiancé? Very selfish to say that we can be friends again. Have you ever considered my feelings now? You always talk about yourself. I don't have any sense of remorse in what you say. When I heard your excuses, it made me feel even worse. Why would you say something so horrible? I'm apologizing this much. Why don't you forgive me? You're like a monster, Natalie, for not forgiving me even though I've apologized so many times. Are you kidding? I won't forgive you, and we're done. Goodbye. Okay, that's how you speak to me? Well then, let's see what will happen to your dad. Don't you know my father gives me anything I ask him for? I have a dinner date with him tonight. What if I ask my dad to fire him? He's got nothing to do with this. This is between you and me. You threaten us just because he works at your dad's company. That's unfair. Besides, he's going through a really important time right now, working late every day, and it's tough on him. I threatened you. I didn't mean it, but if I did, I'm sorry. I don't like saying that kind of stuff. You're my BFF, but it's a fact that your dad works at my dad's company. I don't want him to think ill of your dad. So, you get what I mean, don't you? Well, but he won't do anything strange for revenge. Neither me nor my dad are those kinds of people. Anyway, I won't see Paul again. I believe we can be friends again. You should make the right decision when I talk to you next time. See ya. Hi, Natalie. I have something important to talk about. Something important? Is it about our broken friendship? Oh, well, actually, it's more important than that. What is it then? I'm pregnant now. I just learned it last week. Congrats. I didn't know you found the one. Don't waste your time to talk to me. You have your partner. Actually, the father is Paul, your former partner. What? What's going on? And you said my former partner. Since I'm carrying Paul's baby, I should be the one to marry him, right? Please make a change to the wedding. I will be the bride. I don't understand. I'm confused. Are you telling me you have a baby with Paul and changing our wedding? Is it because you're trying to get back at me? I just went out to dinner with him yesterday. To begin with, didn't you end your relationship? Paul seemed normal at yesterday's dinner. He didn't look like he was still involved with you. Were you two lying to me again? No, we weren't lying to you. Paul forced me. I told him to end the relationship because I wanted to be friends with you. Don't you remember you scolded me severely before? At that time, I was truly remorseful. I didn't want to be scolded like that again. And I really wanted to go back to being friends with you. But he didn't listen, so I had no choice. It's hard to say no when someone is showing you so much affection, isn't it? It was difficult to refuse, but I talked it over with Paul many times. I tried to convince him, but he was very persuasive. I heard you were really angry at Paul that day. He called me that night. He said he was tired since you were always mad. Men want comfort at the end. I understand why you would be angry, but Paul is someone who gets lonely easily, so you need to be kind to him. Stop, stupid. He cheated on me and didn't apologize. You would be mad too. And calling you that same night, something was wrong with Paul. It seems like Paul hasn't learned his lesson at all. You and Paul are both terrible people who live only for your desires without any sense of reason or morality. And of course, his parents will be surprised with a new bride. What do you plan to do about that? Not really. They understand. You've met them? Wait, I'm getting even more confused. Uh-huh. They own a company, right? Yes, of course. I'm his fiancé. Actually, their company is one of the clients of my parents. They have many businesses and are very close. Is that so? That's how you met him. Even so, it's not right for Paul's parents to move forward with the plans without saying anything to me. His parents are very happy to have good connections with my parents. They treat me as their own daughter. My parents are also happy to have an heir. It seems like Paul's parents would be happier if I was the one marrying into their family rather than you. I feel loved by him, welcomed by his parents, and we have a baby on the way. I'm very happy. No way. They didn't say anything at all. Why wouldn't he say anything about such an important matter? I feel like such a fool. Maybe it's pity to tell you. My parents don't know that he was your fiancé, but you don't have to know everything, don't you agree? So I don't plan on ever telling my mom and dad that Paul was your fiancé. Don't you think both my parents would be happier if they never knew? So, is this all clear? You're the only one who sucks. Everyone will be happier. I'm sorry, but Paul and I are already happy. This is a so-called happy ending? Give me a break. Don't make a fool of me. I can't believe his parents. They betrayed me for their benefit. Making fun of me as a family? I feel bad to steal your fiancé. My bad, but you'll forgive your friend, right? But you know, it's natural for people's feelings to change, right? Paul and I were destined to be together. It was just a matter of meeting in a different order. So please, don't blame Paul. Friends? Yeah, you found the perfect man for me. Saves me time. Enough. What about my life? That is not a friendship. I could have had the best life by marrying Paul. I don't ever want to see you again. I don't want to see Paul or his parents or even you. I can't trust anyone anymore. What are you saying? We're BFFs. Best friends forever? Oh, you know what? You'll be babysitting my baby. The child of Paul, whom you once loved, and the child of your best friend. If I have to ask somebody, I think Natalie would be the best choice to take care of our baby. So you need to learn cooking as well. You're good at that kind of thing, aren't you? I believe you can handle it better than me. Besides, I want to have dinner dates with Paul even after the baby is born. Stop it. I'm not your servant. That's enough. I can't stand my life with you around. Please leave me alone. You've messed up my life so much, so please grant me this last request. Oh, well then, let's just see what happens to your dad. His fate depends on me. It'll take me just a word to let him go. This is unfair. You know I can't say anything against it. Nell, you're like a devilish woman. To be able to do such horrible things, you're not even human. I can't bear with the terrible things you're doing to me, but please don't involve my father in this. What can I do? If you want to hold a grudge, blame your dad. All right, let's start with the wedding preparation. You pick up the best wedding dress for me and the venue. Huh? Are you really planning to ask me for a favor at this point? I'm so confused. I still can't keep up with all this. I've been doing it. The dress is fitted for me. It would cause trouble to the wedding hall. That place, it's a shabby chapel for my wedding. Somewhere fancy, please. And change the dress, too. Oh, and you should seat yourself in the front row. What? Why? I want you to take in the moment of my happiness. I can't wait for my wedding. It'll be the best moment in my life. You must be kidding. Why do I have to help to make you happy? You stole my fiancé. I was holding back for my dad, but I can't take it anymore. I feel bad for my dad, but I'm done with you, bitch. Bitch! I've never ever thought of you as a friend. I've always wanted to be free. You don't deserve a wedding. Go to hell. I hope Paul and his parents get what they deserve. Trying to be happy by taking away someone else's life, God won't forgive that. You crossed the line. I can't forgive you, Natalie. Your dad will be fired. He has a job because we were friends. Did you think that useless middle-aged man could get another job? I will ask my dad to fire your father tonight. Suffer like the poor. How can you say that my dad is useless? He's your dad, stupid Natalie. Why would he be any different? Look at you. You just lost your fiancé. I don't care about me, but he isn't useless. You better ask your parents or you'll regret it for life. Nonsense. You'll live your life as a loser, regretting your decision. Ah, Natalie, it's been a while. How are you? Nell, how can you talk to me? Didn't I tell you to leave me alone? I don't even want to see your name anymore. My dad left the company, so I've no reason to listen to you. Don't tell me you care about me. We are good, don't worry, so it's okay for you not to contact me anymore. That's good. I'm happy to hear that, my best friend. So, how will you threaten me now? What do you mean? I haven't done anything like that until now. I didn't mean to force you to do anything, really. No matter what you think, I believe we're besties. No one harms their best friends. There have been misunderstandings until now, but even then, we're still best friends, right? But ones that can steal their BFF's fiancé? Well, I apologized about it. Also, all the unreasonable things I've told you. I won't make any more excuses, so please talk to your dad. Talk to him? About what? To come back. You wanted him to be fired, and now you want him back? I'm listening. What made you change your mind? I didn't do anything. He quit all of a sudden, before I asked my parents. Oh yeah? Why is that? I'm the one asking. I didn't tell my dad, expecting you to apologize. Did you have something to do with this, Natalie? I didn't do anything. It's terrible you'd suspect me like that. You said he had a job because we were friends. Isn't it good for the company? I don't understand why you would want him back. You were right. Your dad is elite. I had no idea that your dad was so crucial for the company. You realized too late, though. Your dad was in a very important position in the company. I didn't know, but it's a mess since he resigned. He got the job at one of our competitors, and what's worse, many great employees are leaving. Total mess. Oh, my condolences. I told you right, my father is going through a very important time at work and has been working very late. He's been going out to dinner with important clients at night and receiving calls from various people, so every day seems hectic for him. It's very tough on my dad because your dad was that talented person. There's more. For some reason, we lost our clients to our competitors. We are losing money. Last month was a total loss, and we may go bankrupt at this rate. Huh? I had nothing to do with it. You've threatened me, talking about the company, but you never knew about my dad. You always only care about yourself, so it's no wonder. Well, it's just difficult for me. I'll tell you what, my dad was working for the company because of his capability, nothing to do with me and you. The reason why I've obeyed your bullshit was because I knew your dad can spoil you. If he was let go because of me, it would look like all his effort was gone, and I can't stand it. Honestly, others appreciate his capability. Who cares? What I'm asking you is to convince him. If you won't, then I'll be in trouble. If you did nothing like you said, how come you'll be in trouble? I wonder. Don't lie. My dad is mad at me. Your dad resigned because I was mean to you. I saw him get so angry for the first time. He told me to apologize and get your forgiveness. Natalie, you did something. Busted. Yeah, I told him. I knew it. You have no idea what you did. Did I tell you I'm not going to tell my mom and dad about Paul and your relationship? It was your own decision, right? I just told him what you said, that you were trying to let him go. He was very mad and took action. He didn't move to a competitor by chance. They've been offering him a position. Actually, the person my father was having dinner with was someone from a rival company, and he considers my dad important. But he stayed because we were friends. Now, once he heard you, why should he stay? So he accepted their offer. He explained the reason of resignation. He said he was asked to stay, but people left of their own free will to follow him. They used to call my dad's cell phone all the time. People who admire my father want to quit their jobs and follow him. My dad convinced them to stay in their current company, but they still ended up following him. He didn't ask them to follow, so what can he do? What can he do, you say? Don't be irresponsible. At the end of the day, my dad would get rid of me. I can't live without him. I'm gonna have a baby soon. What should I do? You've been spoiled. Stand on your own feet. You have Paul, even if you lose your dad. His parents own a company, so isn't everything good? You're loved by Paul, and you have a baby in your belly, so you must be happy, right? If you are that happy, you can live without your father's support. So I thought. Then his parents tried to start a business with our competitor. Your dad rejected it. Now my dad knows them and cut them off. So they lost clients. If they can't find a big client before the end of the year, surely they'll go bankrupt. I didn't know your father had so much power. Why didn't you tell me about your father? Holy moly. Sounds like you're the loser, not me. You were the one that judged my father based on your own assumptions. Oh, come on! Paul broke our engagement for the wedding. How come I'm responsible for the cancellation fee? Well, it was under your name, and you canceled it. Blame Paul if you need to. I did! His family told me that meeting with me was the worst thing in their lives. That family is just terrible. I don't want him. You can have him. So, please, Natalie, forgive me. I'll tell you what. Paul kind of told me the same. What? He said he was over with you and wanted to start over with me. He was fooled by you, he said. But his story was completely different from your story. He said you liked Paul even before I started dating him. You fell in love with Paul at the university festival, right? But Paul didn't know about you and started dating me. You had been harboring a crush on Paul all along. You two are truly selfish. Look at you now. I have zero intention of getting back with him. You'll never get our forgiveness. I finally freed myself from you both and decided to face my own feelings. So I don't want to talk to you or Paul anymore from now on. Tell this to your dad, please. Wait, we are besties. We've been friends for over 10 years, but you still betray me? You betrayed me first, Nell, as I already told you. I've never ever thought of you as a friend. I've hated you. I always felt like I was being treated like a slave. I was finally starting to calm down and distance myself from you now. Then you contacted me again. It made me feel really bad. I'm so sorry. I regret everything. I mean it. So please, at this rate, I have to raise my baby just by myself. With no money and no place to live. My baby is innocent. So just help, please. Sure, your baby is innocent, but no. You just tried to use your baby in negotiation. Why would I help such a person? You always put yourself first no matter how much I talk. Why don't you try to make an effort to solve this on your own? This is the only advice I can give you in the end. Goodbye. You shall regret this for the rest of your life. Nell's dad's company lost many great workers and soon went bankrupt. So did Paul's parents' company. I feel pity for Nell's dad, but he was not respectful at the end. Nell should have realized how significant my father's influence was. Paul's parents suffer the consequences. I heard Paul works night and day in order to pay back the debt. I guess it's good for him to keep himself busy. Nell lost both her dad and Paul. Looks like she's doing her best to live in an old, tiny apartment. She's been very dependent without any skills, so she lives paycheck to paycheck. She's very nervous about being a single mother and keeps texting me, but I never reply. I don't block her contact because I care for her baby. If she really changes, I may help them. Oh, I was not ready for the whole relationship thing, but I finally moved forward after meeting a guy my dad introduced me to. He's very honest and kind, and I'm very happy to be with him. I'm seriously considering a future with him now. For the first time in my life, I enjoy my life calmly, not being afraid of Nell's intervention.